It's Sonic Racing.
Yo, welcome to Ed Media. Well, I've officially played Sonic Racing Crossworlds. That's right, a game I've highly anticipated, dedicated a full month to it, finally played by me. With today being the 30th, it's officially time for Sonic Racing Crossworlds hype month to end. And we will be sending it off with a review for the game. My thoughts fully. Let's get started. To get this review started, I want to clarify there are 3 sections of this review. Section 1, we will review the content available in this game. Essentially my thoughts on the amount of stuff available in the game. Next we will go over the gameplay of the game. Basically my thoughts on the basic game mechanics. And finally my general thoughts. I will collect all my thoughts and impressions that have built up over the course of this review and give my final words and stance on this game. With all that said, let's finally dive into the review of Sonic Racing Crossworlds.
Moderate output. Assets acquired.
Alright, Sonic Racing Crossworlds, with that high price tag and expensive upgrade for the digital deluxe upgrade, costing nearly $100 and an actual $100 for physical buyers, what do you offer to compensate for such a high price tag? Let's take a deep dive into the amount of content available in this game. This section will be divided into 3 mini sections. We will go over character roster, modes, and extra unlockables. We will go over them in this order. So, the base roster includes 23 players available at the start, with 1 being unlockable. These characters include the main characters along with characters who haven't been seen recently. One highlight being the Babylon Rogues officially returning in the next big racing game. Other highlights include Sage from Frontiers, the Chaotix as a group returning, Cream finally coming back, and basically everyone from the relevant Sonic cast returning. We even have an Egg Pawn. They didn't have to include that, but they did. And I guess he's cool. The unlockable character is Super Sonic, which is cool enough. We also have some skins available with Sage having her corrupted evil look, and everyone having their AI rival look. Honestly really peak. While this roster is more than serviceable, it does leave more to be desired. That's where the DLC characters come in. To start, if you pre-order the game, or if you buy the launch edition like I did, you are gifted with the Werehog. Really cool. And if you have Digital Deluxe, you get the Sonic Prime character pack that includes 9, Rusty Rose, and Dread, along with the crossover packs. No crossovers have released yet, but this roster is gonna be increasing soon with these. Some that have been announced include Minecraft with 3 characters, SpongeBob with 2 characters, Pac-Man with 2 characters but one of them has 3 skins, and Mega Man with 2 characters. We also have the free post-launch characters. Some that have been announced include Hatsune Miku, Ichiban, Joker, and Knights. There are more to be announced soon. So not only do we have cool as hell crossovers, we also have the Werehog and some prime characters. I could not be more than excited. This roster is absolutely great. I can't lie, I'm very happy, but, while there's great crossovers, that does leave the Sonic side of the roster to be more desired. We have cool things sure, but with the story of space and time travel, there was a missed opportunity at having some crazy additions in the Sonic side of things, like Mephiles, Black Doom, Chaos, Tikal. And also, more skins would be great. Most characters only have 1 skin. The only other character to not is Sage, but she has had 2. So yeah, more skins would definitely be better, like having the riders' outfits for some characters would be peak as shit. But of course, what we have is great, it's peak, I can't lie. I give it a 9 out of 10. Now on to the modes available in the game. Well, there's 2 sections of the game, the main section and the online section. To start, the main section has 3 modes available, the Grand Prix, the Race Park, and Time Trials. The online section has world matches and festivals. But festivals are only active when an event happens, so really there's only world matches, where you have a match of 12 players from anywhere to compete in a race. Additionally, you can make your own lobby with friends. Festivals usually have people online being in teams and competing against each other with a specific goal, touching rings or more. Now for the main part of the game, let's go over Grand Prix first. This is the main mode of the game. A Grand Prix as well, a Grand Prix, where you and 11 other characters compete in a series of races to see who comes out on top in the end. What Crossworlds changes is the addition of a rival racer. A character that actively opposes you throughout the race and is more difficult than the other CPUs in the race. These rivals add a great mix to the formula and entices you to target and do better than them while also trying to avoid everyone else. It really shakes things up with their exclusive dialogue to you and targeting you. You can choose the character and the difficulty or let the game choose for you. Each Grand Prix consists of 4 races. One for each track in the Grand Prix, and the 4th one being all tracks continuously acting as a lap each. Really cool. There are 6 Grand Prix available at start, one that unlocks when you complete the 6, and a secret one that unlocks when you beat all the Grand Prix. There are 2 that haven't released yet because those are composed of the crossover courses. So a total of 8 and soon to be 9 Grand Prix. Which honestly is pretty good. There's so many Grand Prix to go over and there's more coming soon. That does mean there are 24 tracks and soon to be 30 tracks. Also 15 Crossworlds, so we have a diverse number. The Grand Prix are truly the main mode since you get 2 credits for them. One when you compete the 7 Grand Prix and one for beating all rivals. The mode is really great, the one I play the most. Race Park is a whole subsection of different modes. Basically, this is where the team modes and the individual matches are. And in any of the modes here, you have a rivalry against a whole team. But instead of actual characters, it's AI holograms of the characters. The team modes are when you race with either 4 members in a team against 2 other teams, or you're in one big 6-member team against another one. You score points by doing various tasks like touching each other or getting rings. In either case, touching each other gives you a boost, so sticking together is encouraged. You race as a team against the other players in the AI rival team, and get bonus points for fulfilling the task given. Really fun modes. But if you just want a singular race, that's also offered here, but nonetheless, you still face off a team. The abundance of modes here is really great, and offers diverse ways of playing. And the final mode is the time trial. Basically where you try going the fastest you can in a track all by yourself and get the best possible time you can. You get ranked with a letter depending on how great you did, the highest rank being an S. And these time trials are tough. It was a bit difficult getting in a rank, so imagine how hard it is to get an S rank. These tough rankings are made to get you more engaged in the game and perform the best you can. Really great for a time trial. And that's all the modes. Honestly really great. I love the diverse ways of playing and how much is offered. Now modes gets a 10 because I am more than satisfied, all these modes are fun. Now we have the extra unlockables. I guess I'll start with car decor. There is lots of customization items and parts offered. Car parts are usually available to buy, but you can also unlock vehicles in the race park. There are many car parts to unlock. Not just car parts, but decals and auras. Decals are little image decorations to decorate your car. These are great and I love using them. And the auras look crazy. There are also honks available, but I don't really care about that. Overall, lots of customizations available to unlock. Also, I know this isn't for unlocking, but I do want to mention the ability to paint cars. I really like that because I can make my car look any way I want. Other things to unlock are, like I mentioned before, the 7th Grand Prix, the Secret Grand Prix, and Supersonic. The Grand Prix unlockings are fine, but beating all rivals can take some time. But one thing I haven't mentioned are gadgets. These are things that help with some stuff in the race, like a faster air trick or starting with a power-up, but you can only equip a certain amount depending on the plate you have. You have a little bit of space, but as you race more, you unlock more spaces along with some more gadgets. Now, there are other side things to unlock some stuff. For example, there is a mission mode available. Basically, you get some challenges to do, like getting 10 special items or doing a certain task with the gadgets, and competing these give you a title. A title is basically a special name you have to put alongside your user in the game, to show how good you're doing. Also, there's a little doodle that shows a Jow going along a path in the mission mode, and the more challenges you compete, you move the Jow a spot. And some spots offer tickets, the main currency of the game and stuff, so really cool. Other side things are friendships. You get these by competing the 7 Grand Prix. Basically, you must give away tickets to some characters and you'll receive rewards based off of that character, like titles and decals, but the final reward is a skin for the character. Their AI racer counterpart. These are here to keep you racing and to keep on going. The final side thing is the jukebox. This is where you can play songs not just in the game, but from past Sonic games as well. There's even some new songs, like a Hatsune Miku album made for this game. In order to unlock these songs, you must get a certain amount of ranks in the time trials. So that's another reason to try out the time trial. And I think those are all the extra unlockables. I'll give it a 10 out of the because there's so many things to unlock to get you to keep coming. And that's all the mini sections in this section. Looking over, all these areas are really great. So many characters to try out, so many ways to play, and so many things to unlock. All of these culminate in so many things to try out and so many things to do, really great. I'll give content a 10 out of 10, I love it. Does all this content justify the price? Maybe, but we can't decide that without gameplay.
Moderate output. Assets acquired.
Sonic Racing Crossworlds being the next big racing game for Sonic means a new way to shake up the formula, as Sonic always strives to do. But does that mean to throw away everything that worked in the past? Well, Crossworlds takes that question, and quickly answers no, as it takes many aspects from the past games to here. The hoverboards from the Riders series, the collaboration characters in the Sega All-Stars, the transform mechanic from All-Stars Transformed, and the team mechanic from Team Racing. You could also add the bumping into walls from Sonic R. But yeah, this game feels like an insane love letter to the racing legacy in the Sonic franchise. Using all these aspects from the past games work well, but you can't just rely on that. You still gotta shake up the formula. Add your own mechanic. So what's the new mechanic introduced in Crossworlds? Well, we have traveled through land, sea, and air, but Crossworlds takes a step further and allows us to travel through space and time by introducing the Crossworlds mechanic. A crossworld is not its own track, but it is a lap and is more chaotic and diverse than a track. A race consists of 3 laps. The first lap is the track you chose, but the second lap is entirely different. When approaching the second lap, you are greeted with 2 travel rings, one for a specific crossworld, and one for a random crossworld or an actual track. You can only choose the crossworld if you are in first, so the second lap is the crossworld. And once the second lap is completed, you enter the third lap, which is the track you chose but with some changes. There are extra more powerful dash pads or even some new pathways with special items and such. This allows for each race to be diverse and different, and shakes up the formula by making every race different. This allows you to not feel repetitive when okaying the game and adds to the engagement. Every race feels different because it is. The mechanic introduced here feels great, and with all the aspects from previous games created a really fun and engaging gameplay loop. Not only that, but the other modes like the team modes only adds to the peak. Another mechanic introduced in the game is the gadget system. Basically, these gadgets are tools that help you in the race to make you have more of an advantage. These can increase sizes of hazards, or give you a boost when starting, or other stuff like that. These gadgets improve the strategy of the game. Another thing that improves the strategy of the game is the different types of vehicles. There are speed vehicles, cars that emphasize going fast. Acceleration vehicles, cars that emphasize using less time to reach full speed. Handling vehicles, cars that emphasize having more smooth controls of the vehicle. Power vehicles, cars that emphasize having more strength to go through obstacles and such. And finally boost vehicles, the hoverboards from the Riders games that emphasize boosting to have a more powerful boost than cars. So not only do we have fun mechanics, but we must also have strategy depending on our gadgets and our vehicles. These races are tough. They're chaotic. The tracks themselves have a fair amount of hazards and shortcuts to pull through, but also, the items available throughout the race along with the more linear racetrack cause chaos in the game. You're gonna get your ass best in this race. You're gonna get bullied. These races get chaotic. You can be in the lead and out of nowhere get hit with like 3 different items consecutively. This chaos just somehow entices you into this game. Since the tracks are more linear, there are some tough moves you have to pull. When drifting, the track can be too linear so you might bump into the wall many times. Well, that's where more strategy comes into play. While holding down the acceleration button all the time may seem like the way to go, there are many moments where you have to let go of the button to pull off more strategic turns and cutting corners. The fun game mechanics and gameplay loop, the strategy you must acquire, and the chaos of the game, all tie into making this game truly addicting and absolutely fun. This game is really fun and it's easy to get addicted. Hell, I'm addicted to this game right now. The gameplay of the game is absolutely peak and is a 10 out of 10.
Moderate output. Assets acquired.
With all this said, what are my overall thoughts on Sonic Racing Crossworlds? All the content and all the gameplay, what do I think about all of it? Well, I think this game is absolutely great. The amount of content and the fun gameplay are able to work together to keep you engaged and have fun. There is so much to do and so much fun in it. It can get frustrating with the chaos, but in the end, it's still really fun. It's clear there was a lot of love and effort into this game. So much added and so much to look forward to. This has got to be the best racing game in the Sonic series ever. The amount of money earned for the Sonic franchise recently must have been well spent here. Not just the fun, there's a lot to see too. This game not only has new locations that look beautiful, and have great environments, there's also a lot of love for the franchise as past locations return. Metal Harbor, Apodos, Dinosaur Jungle, and even Water Palace, these come from games people were not even expecting. We also got a huge amount of unleashed recognition. The new locations along with the old locations give us a lot great new environments not previously explored before along with old environments that provide a great shakeup while also being very memorable. Hell, the Secret Grand Prix is literally the most recent Sonic games having recognition by having a racetrack from a location from that game. The most recent Sonic games were Sonic Frontiers, Sonic Superstars, and Sonic X Shadow Generations. So we have Kronos Island, Northstar Island which is just a bunch of levels culminated together, and White Space. Really shows how great Sonic has been doing recently. So we have an abundance of content, really fun gameplay, but also, just a lot of effort and care poured into this game. There must have been a lot of time and thought and money put here. Not to mention the soundtrack, it is absolutely peak. There is a lot of bangers here. Like the soundtrack is straight up peak. We have the Cyberspace remix and the Sand Road remix, but we have great new songs like Blizzard Valley and Aqua Forest. Even the items and power-ups show love since a lot of them are references to some Sonic stuff, like King Boom Boo being an item, the Wisps returning, Amakau is even an item, like there is just so much stuff to love about this game. I give the game as a whole a 10 out of 10. I am satisfied with my purchase of the game. I understand the game is expensive, and while I'm happy with the purchase, the price tag might be too much for some. But I recommend maybe waiting for a sale or something. This game is really peak and I recommend it to everyone. All in all, Sonic Racing Crossworlds is the best racing entry so far. Great amount of content, absolutely fun gameplay, and lots of care and effort poured in. The game is a 10 out of 10 and is absolutely peak. That's my review for Sonic Racing Crossworlds. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe por favor. Goodbye.